Everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and we are here to do some play testing with my latest budget list, Poor Folk in Modern, a budget modern deck that you can play today for less than $100. Before we get into our league, we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And I have new patrons who are supporting me on Patreon. Patrons who are supporting Merfolk and the development of Merfolk and also the development of modern players. So I would like to so much thank Colonel Excalibur, Robert Julian, Joseph Dunbar, Kalakaza, Derek Leons, and Patrick S. Hennessy. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon. So this is the deck that I gave in the Decklist and sideboard guide. If you want more information about that, go check out the description below or one of these little taggy things around here. You'll be able to see it. Yeah, so we're going to be playing in a friendly league. My current results are 9-2, only in playing in queues and friendly leagues. If you want to know, I beat Infact, I beat Eldrazi, I beat Goblins, I beat Burn, I beat, I believe I beat Storm. I can't remember I lost to one Ensnaring Bridge match. It was just like a mono blue artifact Ensnaring Bridge deck. And I can't remember the last time I lost. I think it was to Affinity. But all that being said, the result is great. I hope my luck holds up. I wish I was recording before. But yeah, we are going to be playing in a friendly league, which I think is representative of most people's FNMs. It's representative of perhaps day one of a Grand Prix. So let's get into it. We won the die roll. That's great. And we have a hand that can curve out. I mean, even if we don't hit the double blue source, we're still going Curse Catcher into Silvergill into Silvergill, so we're going to keep this. Great start for the play. And very likely we're going to hit our second land drop somewhere between the cantrips of our Silvergill Adepts. We're up against another island deck. Ooh, another Silvergill Adept. Okay, so to play around Spell Snare, we're going to attack with Curse Catcher first, because if I play the Silvergill Adept first, I'm going to want to protect it against the Spell Snare, which means I'm going to lose a point of damage if I don't attack with Curse Catcher first. So we get our point of damage in. We'll show another Silvergill Adept, because very likely this is all we're going to play in the next few turns. It resolves and we get another island. Probably I'm still going to be playing Silvergill Adepts every turn. Link Moth Nexus. What is this? Artifact spells you cast cost one less to cast. This is just some sort of artifact deck. Okay. So, well, this is probably not going to do anything. I don't remember what this is, but I have played against something like this before. They try to put out these like gigantic... I remember there's like gigantic creatures in this deck. So some options I have are like, hold up Merfolk Trickster for their turn. Because then I can Merfolk Trickster this thing at their upkeep, and they won't get the artifact spells cost one less to cast thing. How much damage will that do? I can only attack for 2 right now, because that's the only... how do I put it? They're probably not going to block my Silvergill Adept. But I sort of want to keep developing my board. But maybe it's not that important. If I play... I think maybe Merfolk Trickster is reasonable. Let's go for a Merfolk Trickster. Who knows what kind of explosive start they might have. So let's slow it down. And then if I draw like one more land, I can play Silvergill Adept and Lord of Atlantis on the same turn. I think this is some Grand Architect-like deck. Anyway, I might lose because I'm unfamiliar with the archetype. Wish I was more familiar. There's Grand Architect. There he is! So grand. Throne of the God Pharaoh. Okay. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the number of tapped creatures they control. Yeah, just their end step. Okay, hopefully we draw a land, because I would really like to play Silvergill Adept and Lord of Atlantis on the same turn. Then that means we would have lethal by next turn. We don't, but we draw a Lord, so that does mean we have lethal by next turn anyway. So I can play the Master of the Pearl Trident next turn and attack for victory. So our opponent does need to kill us here, or have a counterspell ready, or some sort of interaction for our board. I'm not familiar with the type of interaction that they have in their deck. I just remember, like, big, giant artifact cards. But who knows? Could be something else. Judge is familiar. A huge favorite of mine. It's like, it's the Flying Curse Catcher, and it's cute. Look how cute it is. Oh. This is one of the best pictures in the game. One of the best pictures in the game. Give a like just for Judge is familiar. Lodestone Golem. Alright. And we win. We can play Master of the Pearl Trident. And Island Walk for victory. You see, we're not up against, like, Affinity or Lantern Control or those super dangerous decks. This is perfectly fine and strong for your F&M. But I'm telling you, even though if we do run into those decks, this deck has a lot of game to it. It does have a lot of game to it. I can't remember. This deck actually has a name to it. I think it's Blue Steel. Alright, excellent. I don't know what we want here. I don't think Mistcaller will do anything. They might have Whirl of Invention. Which in that case, Curse Catcher is also fine. Spell Pierce can counter... I don't know what Spell Pierce can counter in this matchup. I don't know what Gut Shot hits either. It could hit Judge is familiar. I didn't see enough cards out of our opponent's deck to make a good judgment about what we want. But I can say for certain that Spreading Seas probably is not very good. I don't know, we can hit a Blinkmoth Nexus. So we'll bring in Mistcaller. Maybe we'll bring in Spell Pierce just because it's a... Maybe we'll hit something. Maybe. Spell Pierce feels pretty effy. Maybe I'm just better off with creatures. It would be great to bring in Gutshot if I knew if it had more targets. Okay, it hits Blinkmoth Nexus. Judge is familiar. I think that's about it, though. That's unfortunate. Maybe if we see more... I wish I was more familiar with the matchup. Maybe I should bring in Deprive. On the draw, it doesn't sound very appealing, though. I have how many things to do on the draw? What else can they do on the draw? Okay, I'll just fill the slot with, like, 2 Tidebinder Mage, and we'll evaluate from there. And I'm just bringing it in as a creature, just a Grizzly Bear. That's fine sometimes, you know, if you don't have anything good to bring in. Okay, how about we have 1 Grizzly Bear, 1 Spell Pierce. I bet the Spell Pierce is going to counter something. Let's try to counter something with the Spell Pierce. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. No, I'm not. I don't know these lists, like, really hardcore. So if I have an opportunity to counter anything with the Spell Pierce, you better believe I'm going to take it. You better believe. Nothing on turn 1 again. Excellent. Islands are good. So we go turn 2 Lord of Atlantis, and then maybe we play a 2-drop and hold up Spell Pierce. Academy Runes. Now that might be a reason to keep Spreading Seas in the deck. Chief Engineer. Artifact spells you have Convoke. Curse Catcher is okay. So if I play Lord of Atlantis, I attack for 2, but I can't attack with Lord of Atlantis next turn, doesn't have Island Walk, so I think the better play is to actually play the Mistcaller and the Curse Catcher, and then next turn we play Lord of Atlantis with Spell Pierce backup, and we attack for 6. So I attack for 2 again next turn. That's not enough. And hopefully this puts a damper on maybe cards like Whirl of Invention. I don't even know if they have Whirl of Invention, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Who knows? Not me. Nikachu doesn't know. Oh, that's a beating. Oh, that's a beating. We got to make these creatures big and fast. We got Tectonic Edge. So we have Tectonic Edge for the Academy runes. Okay, let's see if anything gets sniped down here. Maybe the Mistcaller if they have Whirl of Invention. Because if Lord of Atlantis resolves, then the Walking Ballista needs to tick itself up to 2 in order to kill the Lord of Atlantis, which would take up a lot of their time, and at the very least we're going to hit for 6 damage. Okay, Lord of Atlantis resolves. Goody. And let's attack for 6. Great clock. Great clock. And hopefully we can nail something with this Spell Pierce. That's not going to be it. I guess we just attack for 6 again, so... Is there a combo here? Artifact spells you control have Convoke. Target artifact creature becomes blue until end of turn, so this thing can then snipe something down, but then it's just until end of turn, and then it will lose the +1/+1, because this thing makes other blue creatures +1, other creatures +1/+1. I sort of want to Tectonic Edge the Academy ruins, because this thing can keep recurring the Walking Ballista back to our opponent's hand. That's not great. Plus they have 4 mana in play right now. So let's attack for 4, or sorry, let's attack for 6, and then reevaluate what we want to do. Because I could play Master of Waves, and I could threaten to win the game. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Fortunately, we do have the Spell Pierce. Oh! Oh, is that how it works? But +1/+1 counter on Walking Ballista. Remove artifact spells you have. Oh, they have Convoke. Creatures can help cast those spells. Each creature you tap while casting an artifact spell pays for 1 or 1 mana of that color. I don't get it. What's going on here? Oh, there's another... Okay, I didn't fully read Grand Architect. Okay, tap and untap blue creature you control, add double colorless, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. Okay, okay. That happens when you're unfamiliar with a matchup. You're not really truly paying attention. So Walking Ballista is actually even more dangerous, so that's... it's even better for us that I save this Tectonic Edge, because... it's going to be very hard to beat this stupid thing every single turn. Like, they can just Academy Ruins, put the Walking Ballista back on top of their deck, recast it, and then tap the Grand Architects to give it a counter, and then kill our Master of Waves. So that's not appealing. Well, unfortunately, they're doing nothing. Lord is great. I rather would play a Lord than play the Master of Waves. All right, let's get in. And we're threatening lethal next turn. Unless they do something special. Tectonic Edge, look at that, you know? Tectonic Edge doing something. And we win the match. We win the match because we disabled their Walking Ballista Academy Runes combo. So already we are ahead with Poor Folk. Poor Folk showing, no, it's got the power. It's got all the cards that we need. And even though we don't have Aether Vial, we don't have Mutavault, we can still curve out and kill our opponents. All right, so on to round 2. The die rolls are with us today. This is a keepable hand because we can still curve out. Turn 1 Curse Catcher, turn 2 Silvergill Adept, and like we can play Mist Caller at the very worst on our turn 3 play. No real power, like not any particular powerful cards, but still, like if we draw like maybe Master of Waves or even a Mara Rejury somewhere in the next 3 or 4 draw steps, it would make up for that. I'll play Curse I think playing Curse Catcher first is better than Mist Caller. I don't know any situation where Mist Caller would be the card I would want to play on turn 1. At least Curse Catcher can interact, I think, with more decks or more cards by turn 1. That's unfortunate. We draw another Curse Catcher because we don't have a double blue yet for this Silvergill Adept. I guess Mist Caller because I'm probably going to play that next turn, if nothing else. We do need to draw into something powerful, though, because we're not going to win with 2 1s, 1 1s, and 2 2s. But I have faith! Faith in the Merfolk. So it looks like we're up against Death and Taxes. Oh, it could be humans. It could be humans. Humans does play basic planes in their deck. The Dark Heart Waste. Okay, so this is probably Eldrazi and Taxes, the blue, or... Oh, it's Spirits? Okay, it's Spirits. Okay, that's fine. So I think the best thing that we can do is just attack in. And I don't care how they block, because we don't have anything powerful right now. They also don't have an island yet. How do we win here? Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack. If we draw an Island Walk Lord, that'll be great. If we draw anything later. But right now, just want to put pressure while we are pretty weak. If they trade any like if they flash in Mausoleum Wanderer and block Silvergill Adept, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Because as far as I'm concerned, they can dump their hand better than we can. I think they're advantaged. I don't know what's in their hand, but we know what's in our hand. It's not great. We have nothing to leverage these creatures. So they're opting not to block. We're going to get in for 3 damage. I think without Aether Vial, this is probably going to be a rough matchup. It's probably going to be a rough matchup. Because Aether Vial is pretty important in the humans spirits matchup. We do have Gut Shot. So that's going to help. But still, Aether Vial helps a lot. I had nothing to do on turn 1. That's fine. That's good. Horizon Canopy. So they gotta crack that before they hit 4 lands, or we're just gonna nail it with our Tectonic Edge. So now it looks like they're representing Spell Queller. Ooh, and we got our power card. We did get our power card a bit late. Because the threat of Spell Queller is so high, and we can't deal with this card in any way. What we can do is we attack with everything, and then if they play Spell Queller, we just Merfolk Trickster it. That is an option that we have. And then if they flash an... I think everything for 2 mana doesn't really do much. Maybe just the Lord, but you know what? They would have played the Lord. I forget what that new Lord is called. So everything else would just trade with everything below. So let's try to get in for 5 damage, which is still irrelevant, still important. And you know what? Maybe if they don't play Spell Queller, maybe we'll play the Maraudgery post-combat, as weird as that looks. Okay. Okay, there's Rattle Chains. Totally fine with that. Hey, do you know what? If they played Spell Queller and I tried to Merfolk Trickster it, then what's it called? They could play the Rattle Chains. So I think this is fine. Fine with this exchange. And we're going to play Tectonic Edge and pass. If they sack the Horizon Canopy, I'm going to put the Merfolk Trickster in play. I like that we're being aggressive. This is great. We're being aggressive. We have little dinky cards. We're still making the best of it. Or do I? Maybe I Merfolk Trickster at the end of their turn, and if they play Spell Queller, then I can play Maraudgery, followed up by maybe another play. Well, I guess what's hard is that if they've got if they have Spell Queller, they can always put their Vial up to 3, and then I can't really do anything about that. Especially if they have 2 Spell Quellers, that'd be awful. Well, we do have the Mist Caller, I guess, but I don't know how many more creatures I want to lose to this. Okay, we're just going to let this resolve. I'm almost wanting to invite the Spell Queller to eat our Merfolk Trickster. I almost want to invite it. Unless they have 2 Spell Quellers, then we're screwed. So if I play Merfolk Trickster now, they could in response play the Lord, the one that gives hexproof. So I guess we're just gonna wait to block, or yeah, we're just gonna let this happen. I mean, I guess I could have forced it. Passing all the way. Well, I don't think I can do nothing. Like we gotta do something. I can only hope that this is gonna get eaten by Spell Queller, and the next turn we're gonna play Maraudgery, followed by I don't know, a Lord. We have another Mist Caller. So that's interesting because we can sacrifice the Mist Caller to the Ether Vial. Let's see. Well, but we already have a Mist Caller on the battlefield, so maybe it doesn't even change very much. It's so difficult to play against Spell Queller. I'm telling you, it's hard. It's hard. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to play Mist Caller, and my plan is I'm going to attack with everything, and if they do play a Spell Queller, I'm going to invite it. I'm going to be happy that they play a Spell Queller. Okay, so there's one Spell Queller. That means there's probably another one. Can I play around it? Is that possible? I don't know. And then again, they could even have Path to Exile. All right, let's. It's so weird to use the Ether Vial to do that. Unless they somehow thought we had counter magic. Anyway, because if I don't play Spell Quell, if I don't play the Maraudgery, then maybe they just pass the turn back. And they've been doing this sort of passy the turn thing for a little while. I'm going to, because they only have 4 power in play, it's a 4-turn clock. We can potentially just kill them outright in 2 more turns. But they can maybe start unloading their hand. Like, they can put a pretty fast clock on us. Okay, we're just going to have to hope for the best. I'm going to play the Merfolk. They spell quell it. They spell quell it. We're going to move on with life. Bad things could happen anyway. Okay, hit for 6. It's a 3-turn clock instead of a 2-turn clock. Unless they have a Lord, which they might. Now I want to be clear with you guys. Look how there's no islands here. Why? Because Blue-White Spirits has the capability of sandbagging their islands. They have enough mana to work with that they don't need to play their islands, which is why you're going to want to hold on to some spreading seizes going into games 2 and 3. Oh, this is great. If only we could live one more turn. If only! Charge! Well, you know what? If they had 3 spell quellers, we were just not winning this game. It just was not meant to be. It was not meant to be. Maybe if they didn't have Ether Vial, we had a good chance. I think we had a very low curve, and we had Merfolk Trickster to block chump block a Spell Queller. Or sorry, not to tap down a Spell Queller and tax the mana. But as it was, their hand was very good against us. Alright, so we go to... We do have some good cards, though, going into games 2 and 3. We do have Gutshot, which I love. Great card. We have some Mist Callers here. So we have some more things to do on turn 1. We don't want Spell Pierce. We don't want Spreading Seas. Actually, we don't want Curse Catchers. Mist Caller is more relevant because of the Ether Vial. Because of the Ether Vial. They do have Path to Exile, so Curse Catcher can make things awkward sometimes, but I think I'd rather do this. Alright, submit it. Let's go! I believe I beat a Spirits deck in my playtesting. It was all Gutshot. His old Gutshot kills Rattle Chains, kills Selfless Spirit, Mausoleum Wanderer, Phantasmal Image. Great card. Unless they get the Drog Skull Captain, Phantasmal Image copy, Drog Skull Captain combo, then everything has hexproof. But good for them. Oh, Merfolk would love a Merfolk that gave everything else hexproof. I don't know how important that would be. Well, maybe decently important, because then Phantasmal Image would be way stronger. A lord that gave everything hexproof. Damn. Can only dream. Can only dream. Merfolk is good in its own right, though. But it's like so situational when you get to like completely empty your hand thanks to its ability. Our hand is clunky but keepable. And Harbinger of the Tides can hopefully like steal some tempo. At least we have 2 lands. We'll play something every single turn. Come in. Oh, my brother's here.
Oh, you're recording.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
You're always asleep. You're always gone. I don't know when you're here.
What are you playing? What round?
It's round 2. We're playing Poor Folk in Modern. The poor of the poorest folk. So something that I feel like I want to do, I want to play like the Lords first, because there's very few things that our opponent can play on turn 2 that can block this thing. If I play Silvergill Adept into Lord of Atlantis, they could just play maybe a Selfless Spirit and block. So I want to get the Lords out first, and then we'll have a decent clock, and then over time I'll play like Harbinger of the Tides and bounce something back to their hand to make it annoying. And once I get the Lords out, which I think is the most important, it will be very hard for our opponent to play. Like Spell Queller is a lot less relevant once we've got our powerful creatures on the battlefield. Very interesting. They go in for the attack. That's aggressive. So it is going to be a racing situation here. That's great that we're like drawing lands. Hopefully our opponent is forced to play an island. So far it's all Seachrome Coasts and Adarkar Wastes. They have a lot of ways of playing around our lands. A lot of ways. So would not be happy to see Drogskull Captain, because then Harbinger of the Tides will probably be useless for the rest of this game. There it is.
He is. What does he do?
It's a Lord, and gives all other creatures hexproof. Okay, but at least we can attack for 6 ourselves and threaten lethal the next turn. But maybe they'll play lethal. Maybe they'll threaten lethal next turn too. Oh, there's Mararegery. A little late though. We needed that on turn 2. Then we could tab. We would for sure win. We'd just tab bounce this thing and it'd be over. So as stands, we're probably going to play 2 Silvergill Adepts. How can we lose next turn? A Lord. This is... So another Lord would make it 4, 8, 11. Oh. Still alive by the skin of our teeth here.
Yes.
I guess we're just going to play 2 Silvergill Adepts.
Get a card draw. Maybe you'll get Trickster. You can tap that thing.
Oh.
They all lose hexproof.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Just this turn. So, yeah, we do have that. We have the Trickster. That helps a lot. Probably shouldn't have played that island. Whatever. We've got Trickster. So, if our opponent does hardcast a Drogskull Captain, it's going to be all for naught. And we still have a Mararegery next turn. Please tap out to do anything. Well, they have a lot of mana, so now they can play something for 3 and hold up and have Path to Exile ready, which is unfortunate. Okay, Mausoleum Wanderer. Still no island. Look, they have no island. Another Selfless Spirit. Okay, it's fine.
No flying creatures.
Yeah, they're all annoying and flying. Yeah, come to Papa. What is this? 7. Oh, you decide not to attack with that. Okay, that's fine. We're still going to Merfolk Trickster. The Drogskull Captain's the only thing we can Merfolk Trickster, and it will still shrink the other creatures. So I guess we want to draw a random land so we can play Mararegery and another creature at the same time.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. So how can this go wrong? Path to Exile. Yeah, I guess we just lose to a Path to Exile, and there's just nothing we can do about that. 6. They just attack for too much.
Well, you could maybe get a card draw with another card draw and get a counterspell.
I don't have any counter spells.
Oh, they're all on the side?
They're all on the side. Oh, I can tap this, I guess. Give me some assurance. So I couldn't even tap a creature. So what did I need to do? So I guess this doesn't... do I have lethal here anyway? Maybe... well, 6? Maybe. Maybe I do. Because they're going to have to double block. Oh no, they don't have to double block. Selfless Spirit can just sacrifice itself. So I needed... I don't know what I needed. 6, so I'm going to take 8 damage on the crackback. I'm going to look at my top card, because if I played Silvergill Adept, I could have potentially have drawn a Gut Shot, and that might have changed things. Or I could have potentially drawn... No, Trickster didn't do much. There's the Captain again. Here comes the Mausoleum Wanderers. Da-da-da-da.
Lame.
Lame deck versus other lame deck. We both do the same thing, basically. Hey, we got killed. So, what was our top card? Oh! I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, the problem is I played Merfolk and forgot that everything had hexproof. So I actually threw the game away. That's too bad. Because we would have won if we play Silvergill Adept. I didn't realize that after I play Merfolk Harbinger of the Tides that I actually can't tap one of those creatures. Well, I'm not a Spirits Master, I'm a Merfolk Master. So, screwed that up. Because that line doesn't work, it's actually just better for me to play a Silvergill Adept and see what we drew. And this card did give us an opportunity to win the game. Oh well. Whatever, we're 1-1 so far, and we'll go to round 3. Alright, so we're on the draw this time. Perfectly keepable hand.
Soul King.
The Soul King.
Maybe he too is playing Spirits.
That would be a very fitting name. Oh, no, it's Tron. We have a good hand against Tron. We're curving out. And we've got Spreading Seas.
You hear that? He likes Spreading Seas. It's a great card.
Tron players hate him. Learn how to beat... Oh, we have Tectonic Edge too. So, like, this deck actually has a lot of game... Oh, Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, goodbye. That's too dangerous.
Chris Catcher showing its power.
Yeah. Field of Ruin. That card does not matter that much in this matchup. So we've got a Merfolk Trickster, Master of the Pearl Trident.
Start with Land Hate.
No, because I need to see which land is going to be vulnerable to Spreading Seas. So we got to be patient. So I guess they're just going to pass. They play like a Walking Ballista. I can Merfolk Trickster it. I have no reason to like... Yeah, I'm just going to play Merfolk Trickster right now. Or maybe not. Like, there's also the option of... playing Master of the Pearl Trident and have this available at instant speed later. Because I may not necessarily... See, I may not necessarily want to play Master of the Pearl Trident next turn. Because I have to play Spreading Seas now. Plays Urz's Mine. I'm assuming that this is the weak land, but we'll find out.
How many years have you had to figure out which one is the weak land?
It's usually not the first one that they play. Oh my god, they have no chance. How do they survive? I'm going to cut them off all their lands. Okay, let's attack first. Maybe they'll crack their Expedition map in advance. And I can't play the Tectonic Edge immediately because they can Field of Ruin it. So we're going to have to play an island instead. If you don't know, you can hold priority on Tectonic Edge. Like, if you get 2 Tectonic Edges out, you can then sack... If they have 4 lands, you sack one... Oh, they went to get the Forest. They can sack a Tectonic Edge to hit a land, and then holding priority sack the other Tectonic Edge before the first one resolves. Because you can only activate it if your opponent has 4 or more lands. So you're able to, like, throw both of them at them on the same turn. So they went to get... Oh, they got a forest, which... Okay. But at least now every turn I can play like Master of the Pearl Trident, Tectonic Edge, and so on.
What's it going to be?
What's it going to be? It's hard for them to do anything with...
Nothing.
They got an Urza's Mine.
And they'll soon have even less.
I have the option... I actually have the option to blow this thing up. Because it looks like... Oh no, but they have the Urza's Mine. So they know they have... I know they have that. So we're going to blow up the power plant then. Show them Master of Waves, which is like the least relevant card.
Island. Okay.
Okay, cut you off mana. So we cut him off mana for a few turns. Next turn we'll play Master of the Pearl Trident.
You must be mad.
Which will hopefully speed up the clock. Oh yeah, I hope. You better be mad. Oh, they had another power plant in hand though.
Well, it's going to.
Another map. Yeah, you keep struggling. So what's going to be this time? Urza's Tower. Maybe I should just... Well, they can't get Tron online, so maybe I just play Master of Waves, but then they could play maybe a Walking Ballista on too. That would really suck. No, maybe... I guess the best thing to do, Tectonic Edge this thing, we're going to play the Lord, and then that will protect our Master of Waves in the future. Well, if I get to cast mana, use mana for it.
What now? Boom!
Because they won't have Tron for 2 more turns. So, like, in theory, if I can play Master Waves next turn, then they're ruined. Yeah, so that's not happening. Oh, it's for 5. It can happen. So we need a Lord this turn to win? No Lord. Because they can just play random lands, and they have a power plant in hand. Shoot. My plan's been thwarted.
You have Island Walk though.
I do have Island Walk. No, well, not really. So I can put my opponent down to 8. Fortunately, I do have things I can play at flash speed, so that is a good thing. But my opponent's just going to pass and let me take a turn. And then I have to attack again, then they'll pop Oblivion Stone. Well, anyway, let's attack for 8. Cry about it later. So maybe Master of Waves was the right play on that last turn. So I'm not going to commit anything else to the board. We're still in pretty decent shape. Like, if they drop Wormcoil Engine or Ulamog, it doesn't do anything.
You did nothing.
No, well, they're planning on blowing everything up with Oblivion Stone. So, okay, that's good. I can play a Silver Gilladept. So I at least have something to play on my turn. Still show the Master of Waves, because that's what they know about. Oh, got more Master of Waves, but the point is I will play Merfolk Trickster at end of turn and attempt to win the game. So if they play Ugin or Karn, doesn't matter. Wow, they can't even beat the 2-1 on board! They can't even beat a 2-1! Unbelievable. So sad. Okay, cards that are good. 1-drops are good. Oh, what's my sideboard plan against Tron? I made a sideboard plan, so let's use it. Oops. What do we have for Tron? I believe I'm bringing in 1-drops, though. Is it the dealie? Yeah, well, oh, no, I'm not. I'm bringing in Deprive, Spell Pierce, and a Tidebinder Mage. Deprive, a Spell Pierce, and 1 Tidebinder Mage. I don't believe in you, Mistcaller. And I'm taking out Harbinger and Master of Waves. That makes sense to me. Now, one reason we're bringing in the Tidebire Mage is because they have Thragtusk. So in the event that that thing comes out, well, we have something to tap it down. And I guess this is just enough 1-drops anyway. I had better cards to bring in. Submit. Yeah, look at it. Main deck Tectonic Edge. So great. Great like replacement card for Mutavault. And we got another Tectonic Edge, another Spreading Seas.
It's over.
Might as well be. Bunch of Lords. Actually, if we were on the play, we would just very comfortably win. Very comfortably win. It's not even close. How did you not win? Or it's not win, but how did you just resign to a 2-1 Silvergill Adept? That's sad. That's so sad.
His first day on the job.
Probably. Okay, Chromatic Sphere. Island Pass. Annoying. So the annoying thing is that like I now have to spend my turn 2 on playing Spreading Seas on this because they got Tron online already. Basilisk Collar. Are you an Eldrazi Tron? No, you have Sylvan's Cry.
It's Forest.
So they've got this is supposed to combo with what I'm certain is Walking Ballista.
How's the Spreading Seas? Also good.
Probably not that good here.
Can it stop Wormcoil Engine from being cast?
Yes.
Then it's fantastic. Just gotta have mana up.
Okay, Forest is great. Oblivion Stone is fine. We've got the Tectonic Edge. How do you feel about Tectonic Edge?
It's a great card. Anything that's mana control is great.
So this Mistcaller is going to work out really well. What can happen is next turn, we play Mararegery, untap 1 land, play Mistcaller. We're going to get 2 triggers, and we can untap both lands, and we can just empty our hand and hold up Deprive and Tectonic Edge, and it's over. It's over. So we just have to dodge a Walking Ballista that can be cast for 1 or 2, and they'll equip the Basilisk Collar, and then snipe everything down. Pew, 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 pew.
Whatever you're putting in your tea, you should keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's on the ball today.
Well, this is just one.
Tired.
This is just one of these matchups where our poor folk cards are going to line up very well. You know, we're playing with extra 1-drops. We're playing in the max out Mararegeries. We've got the land destruction for those Tron decks. Oh boy! And by the way, if you beat them with poor folk, just let them know at the end this is a budget deck. Just to rub some more salt in them. Your Karns and Ugins are useless. They have no power here.
How much does Karn cost?
Money.
With pants or without?
Both are pretty expensive, but the one without pants is worth more. Porn still sells.
How much does Ugin cost?
I don't know. I don't remember. Money as well.
Probably get
The deck's not cheap. Deck's not cheap. Urza lands are like sort of cheap. I don't even know if they're cheap. So this is like a pauper classic. Oh, Mararegery. Putting the screws to them.
Yeah.
Well, they're clearly doing something else. They ran to the bathroom or their wife's yelling at them. You get off that computer right now. You have responsibilities. We talked about this. Does everyone remember that sort of speech?
Either he's 54 years old or he was born in 1954, which would make him how old?
Oh yeah, Soul King 54?
Either that or Soul King is 1 through 53.
Okay, so let's do the math. 2018 subtract 54. Our opponent is... Oh, hold on, no. I did it wrong. Okay, 118 subtract 54. 64 years old. 64 is a good number. Reminds me of Nintendo.
Nintendo.
We just might win right here. It's possible. It's like really possible. Our opponent is salty, and they're just gonna time down because they're like, because another thing that we did, we played Tectonic Edge. We played Tectonic Edge to cast this Mararegery, so our opponent's like, damn it, I can't beat this card, and I can't beat Mararegery either. What am I gonna do?
Doesn't it like automatically like do something after like 15 minutes though?
10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Let's count.
It's a good thing they implemented that feature.
Oh yeah, it's 10 minutes is too long. It should be just 5 minutes. Okay, let's say you disconnect from Magic the Gathering Online. It does not take you 10 minutes to get back online. 10 minutes is egregious.
Unless you're under Verizon. Ooh.
Ooh.
American doesn't know. Fine Verizon.
Let us know your favorite internet service in America.
Well, you got two to choose from, basically.
Well, we have the same problem.
You have Verizon, you got Comcast. Take your pick.
They don't have like fake sister companies?
I'm sure they do got a lot of smaller ones, but they really don't have like two big ones.
Here in Canada, we have several like telephone services that are just all part of one company anyway. They just pretend to be competitors. You just got to be in the know. I'm looking at your Rogers and Fido.
Roger words.
When Rogers and Fido combine, they'll be Folgers. And Folgers were born. They made coffee.
Fido used to be an ancient internet service back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Most of the internet ran on Fido.
Amazing.
I hadn't used that.
Oh, how far they have fallen.
Oh, no, probably a totally different company.
Oh.
But that's what it used to be called. FidoNet.
Yeah, our opponent is definitely conceding because of this.
Really?
Yeah, there's no good explanation. Oh, sorry, had to go downstairs. Oh, they're back. They've apologized.
Well, whatever. He's still
Alright.
screwed anyway.
Thank you. Thank you for the apology. I'm telling you, maybe it was the wife calling. Did the wife call?
You know how biting that is?
No. They'll understand. What else are they going downstairs for? That's so pertinent. Yep, LOL. Told you. Come on, we know. We know. They're doing nothing for their turn. That's how I like it. Oh. Oh! 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 They better dismember something, or they're doomed. Please don't dismember something, because I'm doomed. Oh no! Oh, thank God. Oh, you gave me a heart attack, man. A heart attack. Where's this tower? Yeah, this is gonna be great. Da 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 da. So now I'm permanently gonna untap two things.
Every turn.
Every turn. Or every, yeah, so. Mwah. Mwah. We're just gonna threaten our kill next turn.
Power of Merfolk, people.
The power of Merfolk.
You don't get this in Tron. You don't get this in Eldrazi.
Might as well play this too. So worst case scenario now, if they interact with my Mara Regeries, I play the Master of the Pearl Trident. And, oh no, they could still interact. I guess.
Did you play a land drop at the turn?
I did not.
Okay, so now you get 3 triggers.
How do I use all this? Okay, let's just... Why not? They didn't do anything the first 2 times. Our opponent is... It's Affinity! We've turned into Merfolk Affinity. Is what's happened.
Now you can untap 3 lands.
And I'll tell you why we're doing this. We're doing this to play around Walking Ballista from doing stupid stuff. You know, bust the Tectonic Edge out now.
You got the Pride protection, you got Tectonic Edge protection.
I target, yeah, good. Something got targeted. Otherwise, if nothing targeted, the Oblivion Stone will kill us. And our opponent is interested in seeing this play out.
Look at that, people.
Yeah, that is beautiful. It's a board state if I ever saw one.
What is that marriage you're attacking for?
6. And that's the manabase.com Get Dunked On instant replay. Oblivion Stone don't look so tough right now, does it? Yeah, take your draw step. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 6, 30. Yeah, 36. Plus 7. 43 power in play. Bite me. Good game. Oh yeah, you better believe it. Sorry your wife had to call you. Alright, so we won the match. Alright, so we're 2-1 so far with Merfolk. The poor folk, well, not necessarily. We would have went to game 3 in that Spirits match.
Oh.
Alright, so yeah, that's that, and we still got all the powerful cards, and even though we don't got Mutavault, Tectonic Edge is a very relevant card in Modern right now. I mean, look what it did to Tron. It will do very similar things to Jund. It can do things to Abzan. It will occasionally do things to Grixis Death Shadow as well. They are pretty mana sensitive, so if you Spreading Seas a few cards and Tectonic Edge the other ones, they'll be locked out of black mana. Tectonic Edge also very relevant against the control decks, but you know, we don't need necessarily Mutavault. Mutavault would be nice, it would have been great in that Spirits matchup, but Tectonic Edge is very relevant too. Great budget card. Don't buy the $10 to $12 card, buy the $1 card. So yeah, that was our round 3, so now let's go to round 4.
Tectonic Edge is $1?
Something like that. I don't know, maybe $2. We won the die roll, we're running hot on the die rolls, our hand is definitely a keep. We can curve out a little bit.
Against Asum, might be a poker player.
Asum out of the game. I got double Asums. Another Tron deck, and we got Tectonic Edge and Spreading Seas again. We got it again. Tron decks hate him. So yeah, with this one weird trick. Learn how to beat Tron with this one weird trick. If I didn't draw that island, you still want to play Master of the Pearl Trident on turn 2, because then on turn 3 I could play Spreading Seas and Curse Catcher with this Tectonic Edge. They played Urza's Tower as their second land, so we'll nail it. In general, unfortunately I can't cast this thing, or I don't want to cast this thing. In general, you actually want to be hitting the non-tower cards, because the more towers that you hit with Spreading Seas, the more they have to look for more towers. And then therefore, in the end, they if they play Oblivion Stone, they have like way more mana than they should. But still, I'm assuming that this is the weaker land because it's the second one that they've played this turn. And I can't give them Tron going into their next turn, so let's Spreading Seas it.
You can't have it, bro.
Can't have it. Not giving it to you. Another Tectonic. Unfortunately, like, I think they're going to have Tron by turn 4 anyway.
No, they're
but
not.
Still, it's going to be better than nothing.
You're going to blow it all up.
You blow it all up.
You're going to stop everything from happening.
I hope. I can only hope. Okay, so they're going to look for a tower now. I guess that's something I should have done. I should have attacked first and then played Spreading Seas. Sorry, poor sequencing. Poor sequencing. They look for an Urza's Mine. That's creepy. Is that something they needed? Because the thing is, sometimes they... what's this for 3 mana? Oblivion Stone? Okay. Hopefully they don't have tower. Hopefully they have to look for it. Come on, one more Spreading Seas. This is great, but I'm going to get my board wiped. Attack for 6. So if they don't stone us next turn, then
Should still blow up his land.
we win next turn. So hopefully no Urza's Tower here. But it sort of feels like if they went... Oh, they don't have it. They don't have it! They don't have it, people! Well, that's going to be a bit of a predicament for you, especially since I have this Tectonic Edge sitting on the board. I guess they just didn't have either of these. Sure, this does nothing. Yeah, now they're drawing dead. If they have Dismember in their hand, it doesn't do anything. Weird that... Oh, I see. They played a land for the turn because they want to play around Curse Catcher, but I think they have to risk the Curse Catcher, no? I guess I'm not going to activate Tectonic Edge just in case my opponent is somehow unfamiliar with this card. Just going to attack for the win. Yeah, okay, great. Our opponent is playing quickly, so they probably are familiar with the card. So we just played this matchup. I'm going to bring in all the Deprives, counters the Planeswalkers, and other important spells, bringing the Spell Pierce and a Tidebire Mage just for the Thragtusk. We'll take out the Master of Waves, because it's a really clunky card, and take out the Harbinger of the Tides. Harbinger is, like, okay, but the thing is, like, Merfolk Trickster takes that spot. It's like, it's okay to have a flash creature, just in case our opponent plays Ugin, wipes the board, end of turn, you keep applying pressure, but, you know, we've got Merfolk Trickster for that job. It's more mana efficient. More mana efficient version.
Wormcoil Engine is very weak to gut shot.
This hand is weak, but it has enough interaction that I want to keep it. If we draw, like, one more Lord, I think that's enough reason to keep this hand.
He mulliganed.
I'm looking at the Tectonic Edge like it's a spell, not as a land. And they mulliganed. Okay, Chromatic Sphere. Well, that's not good.
No, it's good. You got half your lands in your deck already. Just play them out.
Well, they're going to have something next turn. How good is that something next turn?
Deprive it.
Yeah, this is definitely a better position if we had Ether Vial. But we have no Ether Vial.
Too expensive.
Too expensive, yeah. Too much money. It's a tough spot.
Hold up Deprive.
There's nothing... no, I'm going to play this. There's nothing catastrophic that can be played with 7 mana. I mean, Karn is pretty bad, but I think a lot of people side Karn out against Merfolk. It's really clunky. If you minus it, usually dies on the crackback. Well, speaking of Karn, there he is. The problem is if I hold up Deprive, like, then what am I going to do on the next turn? And the next turn, it could be a way more devastating spell, like Oblivion Stone, or, more importantly, what's it called? Ugin. Ugin's a problem. I can Deprive and then kill a land. Not good to be on the back foot like this. I really want to counter the next thing that our opponent plays. If it's Ulamog, then we're doomed. I have an island. I think they have Power Plant is the only unique card. Ugh, that sucks. Because now if I Tectonic Edge anything, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even change anything. Oh, this Karn is growing so fast. Oh, you're a big boy. Another card I could really use is Merfolk Trickster, just to get something and play it. That's flash speed. Okay, we're gonna let it resolve. It like neuters my Tectonic Edge, but I think my plan now is I can't do anything about like the mana situation. I just have to like play permanents and then counter things at the same time. Or do I do something about that? No, I'm just going to play a Lord. Keep putting pressure. So hopefully my opponent plays a spell before they activate Karn's plus ability. I mean, they might even go after Master the Pearl Trident for all I know. So I'm sort of in a situation, I'm just hoping their hand is empty. Like, they don't have anything. They just have tons of mana, nothing to do with it. It sort of looks like that's the situation. And then if I countered this Karn, they would have been in a lot of trouble. Spatial Contortion. You know what? We gotta fight. We have to fight over something. I'm gonna fight over this. They put a tower in their hand. So now if Karn pluses, I give them an island. Urza. Urza, what were you thinking? Urza made Karn.
I know.
Okay, so Karn goes down. Keep going down, Karn. Keep going down. It's better than going up. But I don't see how I can come back from this. Looks like this is not good.
Spreading season, spreading season, spreading season, spreading season.
Maybe my hand was a mulligan. Maybe my hand was a mulligan. I felt a little bit better about keeping it since our opponent mulliganed. Because then their hand is like a little bit more random. Certainly, Tron does mulligan pretty well. Now Tron must go up. If Tron restarts the game, then... If Tron restarts the game, they'll have 12 power in play. I actually have a reasonable chance. Okay, so Karn has to go up here. Goes to 5. If I draw a Lord, I can put Karn back down to 2. And then, if Karn goes up again, goes to 6, but then the Lords will kill them on the following turn. Oh, well, forget all that. Forget everything I just said. So, still need Merfolk Trickster. I don't even know what I want right now. This is just a bad spot. Tron offline, though. Tron offline. You gotta fight. You gotta celebrate the small victories. The small victories. Ghost Quarter. Huh. You have nothing to hit with this. Sure. Activate that whenever you want. Well, I guess you can put the fake counter on the Karn. Well, this Karn is hungry.
What if Karn gets destroyed? Do all those cards come back into play immediately?
No. They're gone.
Oh.
They're just gone.
See, now that would make it fair.
In my opinion, this card is fair. I know some people will disagree. Some people will disagree.
There it is.
Let's just destroy anything.
Just play it for the card draw.
Yes, but there's like a decent chance they'll blow up their own land to deprive me of drawing a card. Well, there we go. Let's see if the Karn will reset the game. Oh, Nature's Claim. So our opponent had just Bubkiss in hand. We would have ruined them. We actually would have, if I held up Deprive and countered this thing, which I still stand that I should not do. We would have just run away with this game. They just had nothing. They had just a few removal spells and like a billion lands. It's possible. Maybe they had the Oblivion Stone the entire time and we didn't see it. No, but they had a bunch of... They kept passing with a billion mana. Or maybe they've just waited to play the Oblivion Stone after our hand is empty. They didn't know what we had. So that makes some sense. But I don't know. We would have definitely had... It would definitely have been more of a game if we deprived the Karn, because they didn't have any other threat. There's no threat that could possibly win the game. Maybe we're going to see a Karn reset, because that would be the fastest way to win. Was it 14, I believe? Oh yeah, 14. Restart the game. Have 16 power in play. Oh, Ulamog. Oh. Is that how I'm going to lose?
You could resign. Lose that way.
Yeah, I like that idea. Alright, we resign. Didn't see anything that I don't know about. Everything's fine. I guess you could argue to get some more one. Nah, I don't really actually love the 1-drops too much against Tron. Maybe they're a little bit better because we don't have Ether Vial, so it gives us a little bit more things to do on turn 1, but I don't think it's all about the 1-drops. I think it's about the mana control. Oh, we only have one land here, so we're going to mulligan. It's about the mana control, and it's about the counter spells. We will keep this hand. The hand is fine.
Mulliganed.
Excellent, because we have no power here. We need
mulliganed.
we need to draw. I'll keep this on top. Because it's not power, but it's just something I can play at end of turn while holding up Deprive for really important spells.
You put his on the bottom.
Good. The hand is weak. The hand is weak. I smell weakness. I taste weakness. That would have been a really good card to spell Pierce. So I'm really hoping to burn the Spell Pierce on anything if I get the opportunity. Nope. Oh no. Our situation is still not that bad. We're still applying pressure every turn. We can counter an Oblivion Stone. We can counter like a Karn if they cast it. It's not pleasant that they have Tron online, but whatever. Could be worse. Unfortunately, the only bad thing is we have like a 4-turn clock from here. So hopefully we can burn the Spell Pierce on something and play Merfolk Trickster. That would be ideal. That would be the best. It's Oblivion Stone, so that's something that we have to deprive. Because we cannot beat that card. As it stands. Thank you.
No.
No. None of these are resolving.
No, I say. Now he's mad.
Who knows? They could have like Ugin in their hand. Well, if they do, that's not resolving either. All right, keep chopping away the Merfolk way.
Just keep popping with these.
That's right.
Little ants.
Go ants! Get in there. Get in there, you ants.
Ants the ants.
Looks like Sylvan Scrying, maybe. That's fine. I can only save this Deprive for like
Big boy.
Any big boy. Any big boy. Another Urza's Tower.
It's gonna be jump.
Oh, No, it can't be Walking Ballista because they're using the entire mana. Or maybe now they're... Oh, it feels like a Walking Ballista. And they need to use an even number of mana, not an odd number of mana. Yeah, it's fine. We can counter this too.
Wasted your turn.
Valiant effort, sir.
Just keep drawing the counter spells. That's all we need.
Oh, how does this change everything? Attack for 5? Oh, but we don't attack for the win.
That's fine. Just to hold that mana.
Okay, so attack for 5.
Hold up Trickster mana.
Yeah, if we attack for 5, they go to 8. And then Master of the Pearl Trident does not actually win that turn unless we draw another Lord. On the other hand, even if we get them down to 1, I think that's pretty good. Because then the Trickster will finish them off. Like, no matter what they do. Unless they play another Walking Ballista. Sort of need our opponent to just stop playing threats. They played a million threats. They played 2 Oblivion Stones and a Walking Ballista.
He only has 2 cards in hand. They're probably junk.
Who knows? And they've mulliganed to 5? Stop it. Please have just 1 threat. That would have been fine. I could deal with that. Attack for 3. Violin Trickster. Flash and Trickster. Attack for... Because the thing is, if I Flash and Trickster at the end of their turn, there's no way I can win. There's just no way I can win on my turn. Whereas if I play Master of the Pearl Trident this turn, put them to 8, I could win if I top deck any Lord.
Alright.
They have 6. Or is there something I'm missing? Attack for 3, go to 10, put in Trickster. A Lord makes this 8 damage. I just don't want to tap out.
Yeah, me neither.
I just don't want to tap out.
Then just pop it for another 3. It's alright.
I think it's actually... I actually think this actually threatens a victory a lot easier. So if we put them down to 1, that is probably victory, because the Merfolk Trickster will finish them off. It's probably victory, but we'll see. I have to hope our opponent stops playing things. Oh man, it's an Ugin. Okay, so at least we have Merfolk Trickster to slow them down a little bit. That's interesting. We got rid of the Curse Catcher, so I guess they have Ancient Stirrings in hand? Could have just played that first. Merfolk Trickster is clearly a bigger card. So they missequenced a little bit. They should play... I guess they were scared that I could... Well, I guess they're scared I'm going to cast... Or, like, counter it. Okay, so now they're empty-handed. That's the good news.
Thank God that thing has something.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this is great. So we can slow... We're going to tap this thing down every single turn. We just still have to hope our opponent draws garbage. That's important. Because we can tap it down, attack for 4, then tap it down one more time and attack for the win. Well, they have something. That's unfortunate. Otherwise, they wouldn't be thinking about this unless they're distracted by something. I'm hoping they're distracted by something. So Merfolk Trickster can tap down this Ulamog each turn. Just have to hope for air. 2 turns air. You've been drawing gas! Stop it! Okay, Sanctum of Ugin. That's good. All right. We have a chance. We have a very good chance of winning this. We just need 1 brick one more time. Attacking only for 6, unfortunately.
I mean, 4.
If I play Maravigery, it would only be for 6. Alright, so let's see. The Trickster. The new card from Dominaria. Is it going? Uh-oh. Okay, what could this be? What's the worst thing that could happen? I can take a hit from Ulamog, too. I'm actually not... It's not necessary to put this Trickster in play. Oblivion Stone enters the battlefield! No! And they have so much mana. Oh, why? Huh?
Fine.
Okay. I need... I can take 2 hit. Okay, no, I can only take 1 hit from the Ulamog. I can play Merfolk Trickster and make Ulamog lose its indestructibility. That's one thing I can do. Oh my god, it's about to happen too. Destroy each non-land permanent. Or do I just take the risk? Probably not. If I tap down Ulamog, I can attack for 3. That's interesting that they did this first. Because, okay, I have the option to play Merfolk Trickster and then Ulamog gets blown up.
Do it.
And then if I play Mirror Reader, it's a 2-turn clock from there. Or I have the option to let this resolve, then I Merfolk Trickster the Ulamog, and then I put the Lord in play, attack for 3, and then I'm attacking for victory. I just need them to brick one more time. Just one land.
Or you could assure its destruction right now. You don't have to take any damage.
But I still have to hope my opponent, like, it's a slower clock though. Or is it? Yeah, it's a slower clock. This is tough. Okay, I wanted to deprive my opponent from as many... So, hold on. How many land drops is this? I put Merfolk Trickster in play. Everything gets wiped. I take my turn, play Mirror Readery. They get 1 draw. Then I attack with Mirror Readery. They get a 2nd draw. They get 2 draws. Whereas if I play if I let this resolve, play Merfolk Trickster, they get a draw. Or is it not? Okay, hold on. Am I looking at this clearly? Okay, so this thing resolves. I'm going to pull out the pen and paper here. Okay, so this thing resolves. I play Merfolk Trickster, tap Ulamog. I attack for 3. They take 1 draw. And then I attack for the win, because I have 2 attackers. Whereas, yeah, I think that's the line. I think that's the line. We just hope that they cannot do anything. Because this thing doesn't do anything by itself. We just hope they brick on 1 draw step. I think that's the most aggressive way to win. Because if they draw any bomb anyway, then my Mirror Reader is doomed by itself anyway. So okay, we're gonna let that happen. And who knows? Maybe if I draw another Merfolk Trickster, that helps me win.
Resolve for nothing.
Okay, just brick. Don't draw anything. I can see... I would be curious to know what people thinks. Well, I could kill your Ulamog. Okay, they got a redraw. You got a redraw. Something? Nothing? GG? Oh, everything's lagging out. I could kill your Ulamog by trickstering it. But this line gave you 1 less draw. Ah, they disconnected. Whatever. Just letting them know that I didn't go in the tank forever. Oh, that was a tough one! That was a tough one! Poor folk! Poor folk showing that, you know, the poor are gonna rise up against the rich! The rich Ulamogs and Karns out there, no. Yeah, the bourgeoisie they're in trouble.
Look, he can count so much more money with all those hands.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so we're in the plus with Poor Folk. We're playing for more serious ticks. We're 3-1 so far. So let's go on to round 5. So we won the die roll again, so we actually got very fortunate with die rolls. I think we won 4 out of 5. We're going to keep this. Our opponent has the Ragavan monkey avatar. But are they monkeying around? We know we are. Uh-oh, Flooded Strand.
It's the mirror.
No. No, it is not. So I'll play Silvergill Adapt. It's probably blue-white control. Could be something else, but like these days, when you see a Flooded Strand, oh, it's like almost always blue-white control. His hand is looking not great, particularly against blue-white control. Master of Waves is very clunky. Oh, polluted delta. That's a bit different. So I showed the Lord of Atlantis, but looks like I'm just going to play Maraudry. I think game 1 against these control decks, just go... Well, okay, so this is great. If Maraudry resolves...
Should take him off that black mana.
If Regery resolves, we can play Harbinger of the Tides at instant speed and make sure our opponent doesn't have 4 mana to cast things like Supreme Verdict. Or even play something pre-combat to make sure they can't play Settle the Wreckage. There's Opt. Is it going to be a miracle?
You mean Turbidus?
It's a miracle! How lucky.
That card is dumb.
Yeah, it is. So, like, this will be the... Well, at least their life total is going down. I was always wondering, like, why is Opt... Like, why are they always hitting this Terminus off of Opt? That seems so lucky. But actually, they get 2 chances at Opt. They scry, and then they can put it on the bottom, and then they can draw another card. So they have 2 looks at a Terminus. But why did you have to get it against me? Playing Poor Folk.
You should play Terminus then. Ops. Because you play blue for Opt.
Then I have to split. Well, it's going to bury all my creatures.
That's okay.
We're all going down. It's all a sinking ship. I think this is a matchup where Poor Folk is going to suffer a lot compared to normal Merfolk. We don't have access to Cavernous Souls. We don't have access to Aether Vial. Aether Vial is very important in this matchup. We're just going to be really clunky. We won't as easily put things back onto the battlefield. After see, look at this. They could just go -1, and that would be a great use of their turn. But they're going to brainstorm, which usually means they have more Terminuses in their hand. Usually, I've seen this before. Tectonic Edge would be fine for me. We're just going to kill the Jace and then pass.
Later, Jace.
And then I will play a Harbinger of the Tides at the end of their turn. It's just so likely they have Terminus. Oh. It's a miracle. I might do something at their draw step. Maybe this is where I want to play the Harbinger of the Tides just so I can get around a Cryptic command. The Elemental's going in my library? What's going on here? I'm like, I can draw that? Because this gets around Cryptic command. It's open to getting countered by... Well, I don't care about that. I couldn't do anything about that. So they can't play another Jace. I'll just play some Lords. And then if we get 6 mana, we can play Spreading Seas and Master of Waves. We're not really in a position to be playing around anything. We just got to try our best to try to kill them as soon as possible in game 1. Makes me wonder. I think we would rather play against the Jeskai version because at least our Tectonic Edge is much more effective in that matchup. Whereas this matchup, it's way less effective. And I would prefer to wait for the Spreading Seas to hit a, what's it called, Search for Iskanta after it's flipped. But it appears that we just don't have any choice. We're just going to have to do our best. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to keep that in hand. Just in case they wipe the board again. We can rebuild with a Silver Gill Adept. There's Teferi. That card is super annoying. I must say, like, Teferi's worse than Jace. It's harder to kill. Yeah, it's just way harder to kill.
You can take him out right now.
This island, this land thing is Bananas. Okay, let's hard cast a Silver Gilded up. Maybe we'll draw a Lord and we can actually kill this Teferi. If they untap with Teferi, it's like it's over. It's just over. Oh, there's the Lord. Okay, so now we have an opportunity to kill the Teferi. No one's beating Teferi.
Sorry, jump.
Well, they still have things to do, like that. Their hand is very good. Must say. Hand is very, very good. So this is the beginning of the end. I've been here before.
Many times.
Yeah. Oh, man. Stupid Teferi effect. Blue control is getting out of control online. I think this is still a very fair deck. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's the perspective of other players, but like, you know, when you have Ether Vial, I think this is a very manageable matchup. Our opponent had what did not help us is that they had like they got a blind Terminus on us. Okay, so now can we kill this Teferi? Assuming they can't interact. Okay, let's go to beginning of combat. Okay, so they're going to Cryptic Command, then we can play Master of Waves. Maybe we can still win this game. But it depends on them not being able to interact with the board. So no Path to Exile, no Snapcaster Mage, no Terminus, no Supreme Verdict, nothing. It's a lot to ask for. Plus the search for his Kanta can't find anything too. There's got to be some massive Brickaroonies. By the way, we're changing our plan. I don't even care about Teferi anymore. I care about this person's face. Oh, there we are with Terminus. So you get 2 searches as Kanta as well to find a Terminus.
This deck is disgusting.
They're drawing well. They're drawing well. They curved out really well. They had all the answers for all our creatures. To be very fair, we don't have Ether Vial on the deck, so I think their strategy is super effective game 1 against us. Super effective. It'd been nice to have that Spell Pierce for this Teferi. I bet would have had a good chance, actually, if we could Spell Pierce the Teferi.
Teferi.
Not to be mistaken with Clefairy.
That's fine.
Also a very annoying thing in the Geek universe. Okay. I'm gonna play it out, and I'll tell you why. I really want my opponent. I'm actually just gonna try to drain my opponent of as much time as possible, even if it does not actually. How do I? Okay, so we have a time advantage on Magic: The Gathering Online. I want to use up as much of my opponent's clock as possible. It may not necessarily make them run out of time in the end of the game, but if we go to a game 3, it's possible that they'll be really crunched on time. And they might have to, and they'll make like worse decisions than they usually do. I don't care what they see on top of my deck. It's a Merfolk deck. You're gonna see a Tectonic Edge, maybe. See, yeah, activate things. Keep doing it. Love it. Keep doing all these things. I don't care. Go Mararegery. Oh, they have a Path to Exile. Get the land. So if I can eat up like 1 or 2 more minutes off my opponent's clock, that's a victory. This is only an online strategy. Don't do this in paper because your opponent's time is also your time. Just be clear, don't do this in paper. You share the time. Just resign, move on. Try to get the match done. But online, time is a factor. Like I said, maybe I'm not necessarily trying to clock my opponent, but it's possible that we're going to have a really long game 2. And then in game 3, my opponent isn't allowed to take a lot of... Ooh, and we're actually learning things about our opponent's deck. Get in, Jura. You didn't have to show us this. That's a mistake as far as I'm concerned. They got the game locked up. They should be withholding information. They're just playing around here. Okay, I was a little bit harsh. That the Gideon Jura at least puts a clock on the board. So attacking with this and the Colonnade might be a faster route to victory. This is silly, though. What do you need more of this stuff for?
Fun.
Timely reinforcements. In the main deck? I guess to combat all those goblin decks? Sure. Got a timely reinforcements. So I think we've eaten two minutes so far on our opponent's clock. That's a victory for me. Oh, they got the combo now. The Jace, the Mind Sculptor, exile 3 things to Fairy emblem combo. Oh, but they ticked up. Funny. Maybe they're going to try to beat me via... I think they have lethal next turn. So I'm hoping for a Harbinger of the Tides just to delay this game a little bit further. I can't... like, none of this is the fastest route to victory. But I don't know what it's in their hand. Maybe they just have a bunch of lands. Okay, they got a Cryptic Command. You have to have the game locked up now. You have to. I have 2 unknown cards in my hand, so maybe it could be something. We're approaching 3 minutes. I ate 3 minutes off my opponent's clock. 3 minutes! This doesn't kill me. You could have killed me with the Colonnade. Look, I'm learning more about your deck than you're learning about mine. I don't know, maybe they saw a Mist Caller or something. But it's like, our deck is not that impressive. I don't think there's a whole lot that they can learn about our deck. Put a card on top, whether they see. Hopefully not the Tectonic Edge. Hopefully it's Harbinger of the Tides. It's like, oh, they saw the Tectonic Edge! I'm going to play this on their turn, because they can't click through their turn. Alright, now we yield to the turn and die.
It's probably like, what are you doing?
Too bad we didn't have Harbinger in our hands. But it's one more turn! So it looks like we ate up almost 4 minutes. We almost got 4 minutes. So that's a big win. Because if we have a legitimate long game in Game 2, they're going to be super crunched for time in Game 3. So now what am I doing here?
Resigning.
What's my plan against Blue Eye Control? I want all the Deprives. I want the Spell Pierce. We're going to take out 2 Mist Callers. The 1-drops are not great, because they can't win the game by themselves. So what you're going to end... Do you know what? I don't even know if I believe in Curse Catcher at all. So the idea is I'm taking out 2 Spreading Seas, and when I look at this, I don't even know if I want Curse Catcher via, say, something like Tidebinder Mage. But maybe because I just don't have anything to do with 1 mana, that I want a little bit of something. But I'm not sure. I think having Tidebinder Mage instead of Curse Catcher is perfectly legitimate, because it's at least a 2-power creature and can put a decent clock on the opponent. So the problem with Curse Catcher and the other 1-drops is 1 power is not enough. Even if I put a Lord on the table, it's like 4 damage or at least 2 unblockable damage. It's still not a lot of damage. Whereas, so I have to put like a 3rd creature on the board. I gotta put like a Silvergill Adept on the board. And the more creatures you put on the board, the more vulnerable you are to like a sweeper effect. So it's possible that Curse Catcher should be a Tidebinder Mage. At the same time, like, I don't want to go down on too many 1-drops. Like, I'm down to 6 1-drops here. So some good things I'm hoping out of this matchup. I hope our opponent is bringing in dead cards like Stony Silence. Because if they might be bringing in Stony Silence for Relic of Progenitus and Aether Vial, 2 cards we don't have in our deck. What other cards could they bring in that would be completely dead? I think that's about it. Well, another thing they might do is they might take out some of their counter spells, because they're assuming that we have Aether Vial. They're assuming that we have some number of Cavern of Souls. Hopefully they don't peg us as a budget deck. We only showed islands and a Tectonic Edge that game. By the way, I think our hand was pretty decent, but they had all the answers. And then they had the Teferi, and then they ran away with the game. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Not thrilled about it, but it's a Silver Gill Adept and there's a little bit of interaction for a Planeswalker, and we can play some stuff at instant speed. Not the most gorgeous hand, but you know, we can't pick and choose. I certainly don't want to go to 6 against a control deck. By the way, we leave 2 Spreading Seas in the deck just to hit Search for Azcanta if it flips, and also to hit a Celestial Colonnade if it ever matters. Sometimes, but it's really hard to screw them off of white because it's a 2-color control deck, but sometimes you can take them off double white, so you're free, you're not in danger of getting hit by Wrath of God or Supreme Verdict, Settle the Wreckage, or anything like that. Okay, they mulligan, that's fine. It's better for us. Less cards the better. Tectonic Edge works really well with Spell Pierce in this matchup. Keep their mana low. Keep Spell Pierce alive. So I'm just hoping they do not Spell Snare this. Good, they didn't.
Yet.
Now I'm hoping they don't. Play Search for Azcanta on their turn, because we have a Spell Pierce in hand. Did they... I don't know if they took a damage from that or not. No, they didn't take... They just took 1 damage. Look, Stony Silence! Blank! Totally blank. Totally useless. Just useless. That's awesome. Alright, that's a win. That is a win if I ever saw one. Oh, maybe it's better to just play Master of the Pearl Trident there. Or maybe it's better I play Harbinger of the Tides now.
Get him off that white mana.
No, I would prefer to wait. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cast this. We still have Spell Pierce up. They can't play a Wrath effect. Well, I mean, I guess they could play Terminus, but it's not likely. So we have our power in play. We have 4 power in play. That's great, and we can even apply more damage with Merfolk Trickster. See, look at the pro. So this is that now. Against Tron, you wanted to tell them you're a budget deck to piss them off. Against Blue-White Control, you don't want to let them know that you're a budget deck. I'm going to let this resolve because it's not that important. They can take something. What's more important is that we keep the Spell Pierce for a Planeswalker, because those are really hard to deal with. That is great. So maybe now we start taking them off of white mana. Ooh, that's not bad. And then I can still play Merfolk Trickster at end of turn. It's going to eat a Colonnade for sure. Sorry, that Colonnade is going to eat our Tectonic Edge for sure. We're still vulnerable to a Supreme Verdict, though. But we can attempt to win the game. So we can play... And it's not... Do you know what? They don't have that many Supreme Verdicts. Maybe we should just go for it. Because they could... If they have Wrath of God or Sell the Wreckage...
You're losing in 4 minutes.
Hey, no. Well, I earned it. I earned it.
Just play cards.
Okay, playing cards. Cards being played. Okay, so hopefully they took that damage with the anticipation that they had white mana. Slightly greedy play. Slightly greedy play. But the thing is, they don't have as many Supreme Verdicts as they used to, because they need to have a more... need to have a... Oh, do you want... Something I didn't play around was Terminus off the top. I didn't play around Terminus. Whatever. Whatever. I'll live with that. Didn't think about Terminus. Spell Pierce couldn't counter Terminus.
Unfortunately.
It would have been a sad way to lose. Your Strongst is out of data. Oh, is it? It's been out of data for years. Or it's out of date. This is a hand. We're gonna keep this. Hopefully they still have dead cards like Stony Silence in their deck. They got a Colonnade and Roth. I don't know how I feel about playing Harbinger of the Tides on turn 2, because I can put this in play with flash speed. So I think I'm actually going to play the Lord of Atlantis, because we don't have Ether Vial, so I'm going to save the Harbinger of the Tides for when I can put things in play at flash speed. Okay, attack. He takes damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. Just gonna pass. If I play something, the Supreme Verdict or anything, Wrath would be fine. I can't do anything about those cards. And on top of that, I do believe I want to deprive a Jace the Mind Sculptor if it is cast. Ooh, Ghost Quarter. For all our cards we don't have. Okay, declare attacks.
Get rid of that Colonnade.
Could try. No, I'm gonna wait on the Spreading Seas. If they, I actually don't want them to Cryptic Command this. I do want Spreading Seas to resolve. So we'll wait on Spreading Seas. And I guess that is going to resolve. Not happy about that. Because it is card advantage, but we'll play a Harbinger of the Tides next turn. If there's any sweeper, it still eats up the Snapcaster Mage. Still card advantage, but whatever. Okay, start putting things in play at instant speed. So I'm not happy that we're drawing islands, because now they're representing like Path to Exile. Is it really that bad? It's not pleasant, but you know what? I don't think if I apply more creatures to the battlefield, then I'll be vulnerable to a sweeper. So I think I would rather they Path the Lord and we figure out something later. They don't do that, so I'm just gonna pass. If you had
hexproof, would that protect you from Terminus and stuff?
No. Nothing protects you from Terminus.
What's
Not
it,
even,
Venser?
not even true name. Well, so long as Venser's in my hand first. I'm actually okay with timely reinforcements. They played a land for the turn. So what if...
I'd deprive it.
Yeah, we're going to let timely reinforcements resolve. The thing I like about timely reinforcements is that if they use a sweeper now, it eats up the timely reinforcements.
Well, that life they gained, though.
Well,
All
whatever.
your work gone.
Play another Harbinger of the Tides. See, if I can get them back, if I can get them back down to 16, then I'm fine with this. Because if they use a sweeper, it's like they used if they use a sweeper here of any sort, then it's like they swept up their timely reinforcements as well. Alright, so this is going to be an opportunity to Spreading Seas the Celestial Colonnade. Okay, that's fine. No, I'm not going to pay for that. Oh, I shouldn't have played the island early. I'll put the Silvergill Adept on the board. Still, it's another card that can apply pressure. So again, if they sweep the board, they're sweeping up their soldier tokens as well. We might have to protect our Lord of Atlantis from a Path to Exile. It's pretty clear to me right now they do not have Path to Exile. They just don't.
They would have played it by now.
Yeah, they would have played it by now. Oh no! Is it Teferi? And you've got counter backup? Well, let's see. I don't want you to resolve. Oh, waiting to pay costs. Okay, they have negate. But they can protect Teferi. Okay, I hope they cannot protect Teferi. Hopefully these two creatures just go in and kill him. What does this mean? Yeah, what's going on here? None of the soldiers can attack. Yeah, I cannot block this. Okay, hopefully we just kill a Teferi. I'll be fine with this. I'll be fine with a Teferi drawing one card if we can kill him. And there's no way we can protect our stuff. So we just gotta hope there's no Path to Exile. Excellent. I don't feel like playing Master Waves here, just in case they still have the sweeper. Look at all these cards they can't use. Can't use Field of Ruin, can't use Ghost Quarter. If we're about to win, we're going to let our opponent know this was a budget deck. And here, look, time pressure coming in. Oh, search for his Canton. We don't have anything to do anything about it. Oh, but they have 4 cards in the graveyard.
Yeah, still got a few turns for flips.
Okay, so this is just more evidence they don't have a Path to Exile. Otherwise, they would hold up Snapcaster Mage, in my opinion. Oh, not the Lord of Atlantis. Can we kill them? Can we, like, try to kill them here? Search for his Canta. I can deal... Oh, I can only do 13 points of damage. Or can I? Hold on. I have 3 Lords, so 6, 12... I can win.
You have Island Walk.
I do have enough mana to cast everything in my hand. So the question is, do they have Cryptic Command? Let's do a tester. Let's see if this resolves. Because if it resolves... Okay, so it's Cryptic Commanded. They went to draw a card? So now you have Path to Exile? Oh, maybe you have Path... Well, I don't get it here. Yeah, okay, hold on. What is going on here? I'm going to play the Lord of Atlantis. And we're going to attack for 8 and threaten to win the game next turn. That's how I look at this. Hopefully our opponent does not have a sweeper. And if they do, we can still play Merfolk, Master of Waves, and attempt to win anyway. Somehow I feel like they have Path to Exile now, given the line with the Cryptic Command. Okay, I also now think that they don't have a sweeper in their hand. If they had a sweeper, they would have exiled one of the attacking creatures, saving themselves life. So they have no sweeper, and they probably don't have any more Path to Exiles in hand. Unfortunately, I'm not attacking for the win next turn. Fortunately, Search for Azcanta can flip this turn. That's not good. Yeah, putting Cryptic Command in the graveyard. It's a good card. Alright. I wonder if they're going to do it on their main phase to see what they get, because they could look for, what's it called? No, do you have another Path to Exile? Sort of like what you're telling me here. Or are you telling me this?
At this point, I don't think it matters.
No, it does. Well, they could have Snapcaster Mage, actually. They have enough mana. They could have Snapcaster Mage. They haven't missed any land drops, so there is the chance that they're flooding. That's a possibility too.
You potentially have 2 Rajiri triggers. Could you tap down their lands to stop
3, 1, 2. I have 2. Yeah, potentially 2 Rajiri triggers, but I can only tap one thing down. Everyone blocks Lord of Atlantis. I don't know, do I tease them again with a Merfolk?
Do it.
Because if I do that, that might bait out a counter spell. Counter tap. Okay, I have an idea. Okay, we're going to play this thing. We're going to bait out counter tap or Snapcaster Mage path. But then we're going to play Master of Waves. I'm just going to hope my opponent can't find an answer. Simple as that. That's the plan. Holy moly! That's a spicy meatball. I wish I played Merfolk first now. Because then they might... Oh, but they could still counter tap. Yeah. And I can't attack. Okay. Have you heard... Do you hear the sound of waves? Because the master has arrived. Good luck. I'm all in. I'm all in. And this is where they're going to main phase search for Azcanta to find a damn answer. It's all on this search for Azcanta. Please find Serum Visions. Oh, they found Cryptic Command. So that gives them another turn. That actually might be really important because they got a lot of power in play. If I block with 3 things, am I still threatening lethal? I am. Because the thing is, this thing can kill me. Or maybe I'm not threatening lethal now. Well, I can play the Merfolk. So come on, deprive. Not deprive. Okay, we'll threaten to attack. This is where it's going to have to be a tap draw. Actually, hold on. I think I'm going to pay full retail for this. I don't want them to know I have Merfolk in hand.
Full retail.
Full retail. Deprive? Deprive is what we need right now. Tectonic Edge. Did I play land drop for the turn? I did not. Goodbye, search for his Kanta. Search for no more. Alright, that was a pretty good draw. That was a pretty good draw. Alright, now the onus is back on them to find a sweeper here.
No miracles.
Yeah, no more miracles. No miracle. I should get this ready. This was a budget deck. Oh no! Teferi? Hopefully Teferi. Better off with Teferi than not Teferi. Ah, boo. Boo. Alright, so we can rebuild the board really quick, though, assuming our opponent doesn't have anything. Oh no, that's bad. This is going to tick up for sure. Oh no, it's going to draw 3 cards. So now what I'm hoping for, I guess another Silvergill Adapt and then draw a Lord and then put Merfolk on the battlefield. At least when they're drawing 3 cards here, I know they're not putting a Terminus back on top, or they have to be lucky to be doing that. Well, looks like I'm going to lose the old-fashioned way to Jace the Mind Sculptor. Untapping with Jace is still good, people. It's still good. It's still a legit way to win with Magic. Win at Magic. This is the old-fashioned way of winning in a control deck. Well, if they were at like 4 life, I would say, yeah, we have a pretty good chance against a Jace. Or sorry, we have a chance against a Jace, but I think at 10 life, doesn't look good, people. Sorry, it doesn't look good. We need to like top deck into a bunch of Silvergill Adepts. And actually we have to do it soon. They got a 4-turn clock on us. And unfortunately, they have 5 minutes on their clock. That's more than enough. I don't know, maybe we'll draw Spreading Seas.
Spreading season to spreading season to spreading season.
Excellent. That's good. So we can Tectonic Edge the Celestial Colonnade now. So that will give us more time. That will give us more time. Do you know what? Actually, there is a... I should Tectonic Edge immediately because they could Cryptic Command and bounce their own Colonnade back to their hand. It's like right now they could Ghost Quarter my Tectonic Edge, force me to use the Tectonic Edge on their Colonnade, then they Cryptic Command, bounce Colonnade back to their hand, replay it for the turn. See? So it might be a slight misstep here. Oh, no misstep. So they Field of Ruin, hoping to shuffle their library, because probably their top deck is not very good. They can Ghost Quarter themselves, though, if they need a shuffle effect. Alright, now we're on the time screw plan. Although, like, Jace... If I'm this opponent, I would just take Jace up. Look at the top, like, that's a win condition by itself, and it would win really quickly. Oh, Master of Waves. Okay, start ticking Jace down, please. Aww. I felt like this late in the game, this would have had a lot of devotion. Come on, the last Master had a bunch of devotion. I'm not as devoted this time around. So we ate 4 minutes off our opponent's clock last time. Maybe we can do the same thing this time. We're not going to win fairly. It's like impossible. There's that stony silence again. Makes me smile. Another Master. Master! Master!
Master Way should also draw a card.
Oh! Please. Why not? But you know what? They don't have room on the card anymore for that. Just no
They
room.
could just make another symbol.
They just squish his picture, just like they squished Jace's picture. His picture is smaller to make room for all that text.
Eventually, it'll just be his head in a small box.
Yeah.
The rest will just be text.
They just push his head like above the frame, in that little space between Jace the Mind Sculptor and the mana cost. Gotta save room there, people. Well, if we get a Tectonic Edge or a Spreading Seas, they don't have any clear way of winning this game. They do not have a clear way of winning this game. 3-turn clock.
Jace can't attack.
No, of course Jace can't attack.
Oh.
It's a Planeswalker. They don't attack, they cast spells. With their loyalty things, activations.
I had no idea. I thought they could all attack.
Go on, Tectonic Edge. Give me a little bit more time against this stupid control deck. They would have won already if they just keep looking at the top of my library. This is like silly. I mean, this wins too. You know, to be fair. Wow, more Master of Waves. Do you know what? I'm not complaining. This is probably one of the better cards to be top decking in this situation. Spreading Seas into Master Waves. Now that's better. I don't care if yielding through my turn signifies that I have no play. I don't care. Jeez, it's a miracle. Wow! I had no idea it was on top of my deck. Amazing.
Card should be banned.
That's fair. It's the first time in a long time it's seeing play. Also, it's the first time in a long time Jace is seeing play. Alright.
He was banned for a long time.
Oh, yeah. So we need Merfolk Trickster. We need Tectonic Edge or Spreading Seas to delay this game a little bit further. And to validate my wasting my opponent's clock strategy earlier. How many times did they draw a card with Jace? They would have just won already with the exile cards thing. Ugh! Damn. Now I'm just gonna waste my opponent's life. I'm just gonna take a few more minutes.
Take it wherever you can find it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna take one more minute from it. It's almost evil. Let me squeeze the life out of you by 1 minute. That's interesting. I never thought about it like that. I'm like literally wasting this person's life. Like this from this point on, it does. Oh, killing with the Snapcaster Mage. All right.
Noble.
All right, good games. They were good games. You know what? They were good games. We had a struggle in game 3. Unfortunately, the Jace got to resolve, and I didn't have counter magic for it. It's not to say that we didn't draw counter magic. We had the Deprive, we had Spell Pierce, but unfortunately they had a little bit more. And it was an interesting game because of how they were playing their spells and how they sequenced them. It telegraphed that it did telegraph us what was in their hand, that they didn't have a sweeper, that they didn't have Path to Exile at a point, and then the way they attacked, they all of a sudden had Path to Exile again. But we went 3-2. And we had a game. Like, game 3 was good. And against that Spirits thing, I screwed up. We could have won one of them and went to a game 3. So you saw the playability of Poor Folk. Let's go to our collection here. You saw the playability. This is a playable list. This is a great way to get into Modern. And you have all the power of normal Merfolk, minus, like, Ether Vial. But, I mean, you still got all the core cards. And you're gonna play Magic. You're gonna play Magic and you can win. So I hope you all enjoyed that. The next video that I'm going to have is going to go over how you're going to upgrade this deck from Poor Folk to Normal Folk.
Mortgage your house.
Huh?
Mortgage your house.
Yeah, mortgage your house.
Take out another loan.
It's not that bad.
Pawn that jewelry.
I mean, Merfolk is a little bit more affordable. Don't have to pawn off too much. So stay tuned for that.
This will keep the loan sharks off your back for a while. Till you can win that GP and get the money you need.
Before we go, we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank the manabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu with his brother, playing Poor Folk in Modern.